Okay. Good morning to all attendees in Saudi Arabia. Good afternoon siguro yung mga participants natin sa Philippines. And good morning fellow PICE Riyadh officers and also to our members all over the world. And my name is Engineer Harry Mark Tolentino, your current business manager and chairman of OFW Reintegration Committee, PICE Riyadh. And it is my honor and privilege to be your host for this very delightful morning. And first of all, I want to thank all the attendees who attend this webinar. I hope na nakapagkape na, nakapagagahan, at nakapag-jogging na siguro. Okay. At to begin with, I just want you to give the purpose of OFW Reintegration webinar. It was formed in order for our members to have an opportunity to learn and gain knowledge in terms of starting business or any other business entity back in our homeland, Philippines. Sa madaling salita, pagtapos po dito sa Saudi, saan po ba tayo? Kailangan po natin ng ibang opportunities like business construction, at iba pang business na pagkukunan ng ating resources. Ayan. So we have two interest topics for today. One topic will be discussed this morning with title Guidelines and Preparation for Construction Business by Engineer Johnny Laganse. And the other topic will be discussed this afternoon with title Financial Literacy Awareness by Engineer Juanito C. Teco Hermoso. Okay, just sit back, relax, and make yourself comfortable as we are going to listen and enjoy this learning experience. Fellow PICE Riyadh members, are we ready to begin the webinar? I can't hear you.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, raise your hand.
Yes. But before that, I will recite the webinar housekeeping. This webinar is scheduled to last 5 hours, including Q&A. All dial-in participants will be muted to enable the speakers to present without interruption. Questions can be typed in the Zoom chat panel. For those in the Facebook Live, they can type directly in the comment section. And as time permits, questions will be addressed and answered at the end of the lecture presentation. Polling questions will be asked during the webinar. Certificate of attendance will be sent via email to those who answer all the polling questions. Before the webinar ends, you will have an opportunity to provide feedback. Please complete the feedback questionnaire to help continuously improve our webinars. And now, let us all. So to begin with the webinar, we first give honor and respect to our motherland, the Philippines, by singing our national anthem. Let us put our right hand to our left chest as we sing Lupang Hinirang.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiliw, sa sinanganan, walang panitig mo'y buhay, lupang hinirang, yan ng magiting, sa manluluping, di ka pasisigil, sa nanagang tutok sa simoy at sa langit mo bagaw, ay hinagang tula, awit sa paglayang minamahal, ang isang lang matawad mo'y tagumpay na nagtitindig, ang bituin na kailan ay di magtitindig, lumanang araw ng warhabit pagsinta, mo'y langit sa piling mo, ang ligaya
And also let us give respect to the national anthem of Saudi Arabia.
للمجد والعليا مجدي لخالق السماء وارفع الخفاق أخضر يحمل النور المسطر رددي الله أكبر يا موطني عشت فخر المسلمين عاش الغني للعدم والوطن للمجد والعليا مجدي لخالق السماء وارفع الخفاق أخضر يحمل النور المسطر رددي الله أكبر يا موطني عشت فخر المسلمين عاش الغني للعلم والوطن
And to give respect to our Muslim brothers, we pray the Muslim prayer.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
الحمد لله رب العالمين
All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds.
الرحمن الرحيم
The entirely merciful, the especially merciful.
مالك يوم الدين
Sovereign of the day of recompense.
إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين
It is you we worship and you we ask for help.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم
Guide us to the straight path, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed favor, not of those who have evoked your anger or of those who are astray.
And to pray our Christian prayer, let us put ourselves in the presence of the Lord.
Dear God, thank you for allowing us today to meet and share our knowledge and time with one another in this webinar. We are truly grateful for all the blessings you have bestowed upon us. May you extend your divine wisdom to our speaker so that he would be able to impart effectively his God-given knowledge to all of us. Bless the participants as well so that they would be able to glean the vital information from this activity and spread what we've learned in the spirit of your love and generosity. May we realize that this activity should glorify your name. Amen.
And moving on to our program, let us hear again from the man who will give his welcome remarks for this webinar. Our PICE KSA Riyadh President, Engineer Joel G. Abaencia. Let us give him a virtual round of applause. Engineer Joel, the floor is
Thank you, Engineer Mark. Good morning po sa lahat. Good morning, Middle East. Good afternoon in some parts of Asia. And of course, magandang hapon, Pilipinas. On behalf of PICE Riyadh, I am pleased to welcome you all to our webinar on guidelines for construction business and financial literacy. This is the fourth of our free webinar series, which focuses now on the reintegration program of our chapter. In this virtual room, I recognize some familiar names of participants from our fellow OFWs, not only from Saudi Arabia, but also in Kuwait. We have Sir Ali. From Qatar, UAE, Maldives, and other parts of Asian countries, such as in Singapore and Brunei. We also have participants from our home country, the Philippines. A warm welcome to you all, and thank you for joining us today. Indeed, OFWs are considered the modern day heroes. After all, we came to work overseas and sacrifice for our families and of course for our country as well. But are we going to last in our host country for a lifetime? Are we going to work here for the rest of our lives? Ito ang mga tanong na ating laging maalala. The answer, of course, is no, as our stay here is only temporary. No matter how long we stay in the country we work in now, we will never get a permanent residency, especially here in the Middle East. With this reality, there will always a time for us to go back home, a time to reintegrate back to Philippine society. But how ready are we for this? Ano ba ang mga plano natin when we go back home? Tayo ba ay mananatiling maghahanap uli ng trabaho? Tayo ba ay gagawa ng mga negosyo, ng sariling negosyo natin? Are we going to be a job seeker or a job provider? So today's event, you will learn from our speakers on how to start a business in construction and of course in financial literacy while we are still here earning abroad. It is a sad reality that most OFWs went back home broke. Siguro meron tayong mga kaibigan, mga kasamahan na umuwi, na pag-uwi sa atin, ganun pa rin, balik pa rin sa uno. So, with this webinar, I hope you will learn a lot on how to handle your finances and on how you are going to start up a business in the Philippines. Now, without much further ado, I will now turn back the time over to our host, Engineer Harry Mark Tolentino. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Thank you very much, our PICE President, Engineer Joel Abaencia, for that very inspiring message and welcome remarks to our fellow members. And moving on, I would like to introduce to you our first speaker for this morning. Our resource speaker for this morning is a very promising one. He has a strong technical background in the design, planning, project delivery, construction and operations of infrastructure networks. He has a solid experience in maturity gates, phase reviews, material works inspection, acceptance testing and commissioning, quality auditing, and process improvement. A licensed civil engineer, registered ASEAN engineer, registered in American Concrete Institute, CEO and founder of JM Lagansi Construction and Supplies since 2004. And he is the current Community Project Committee Chairman of PICE KSA Riyadh chapter. And without further ado, to enlighten our morning, to give us his insights and experience on guidelines and preparation for construction business. Please help me welcome Engineer Johnny M. Lagansi Jr. Engineer Lagansi, floor is yours.
Thank you, Engineer Mark. Can you hear me, guys?
Yes, sir.
Loud and
Hear
clear.
me? Okay. Once again, thank you, Engineer Mark, for that very heartwarming introduction. To all our distinguished guests, the PICE BODs and members, ladies and gentlemen who are present in this webinar, wherever you are, minsan ko na sabihin, good day all. OFW Reintegration Program is one of the priority agenda of PICE Riyadh chapter for the year 2020. I would like to say thank you, Engineer Mark, who is the current business manager and the chairman of the OFW Integration Committee, for inviting me to share my experience in starting a construction business. To start with, please allow me to introduce our construction business in the Philippines as an example. Engineer Mark, can you please do the honor for my slides, please? Okay. So you can see it now. JM Lagansi, this one. This is our construction business. It's all about JM Lagansi Construction Supplies. The founder and the CEO. This is the one. I will just show you. We will discuss all over this one by one. I will just show you an example. Okay, this is our project management and execution philosophy. This is our vision, the mission, the company information. This is our organizational structure, our management team, our people. This is our project accomplishments. And this, the eligibility documents, which we will be discussing later on one by one. This is the sample. This is the registration, the mayor's permit, the DTI, the construction license, which is the pickup, the certificate of registration, the field jets, the tax clearance certificate, annual tax income return, the latest proof of business transaction, and involvement of career innovation. These are the plaques. The career highlights and practices. This one. This is the awards and citation. And for now, stop for this one. I hope you see the presentation and I hope you like it. This is only the example of our construction. Now, moving on, here are a few steps we use when we start our business, which will be elaborated one by one in the next slide. Number one, create a business plan. Number two, register your business to the government regulatory agency. Number three, insure your business. Number four, secure construction bonds. Number five, buy equipment and hire workers. Market your business and start bidding on projects. Okay. Creating a business plan. Always bear in mind that If you failed to plan, you're planning to fail. Know what the type of business you want. Know exactly when, why, how you will start your business. Your business plan that outside party should understand is especially important if you're applying for a business financing. Your business plan should include a business description, including your business specialty, list specific set of construction services you will provide, as well as what you will charge for each services, making sure that unit rates are the latest in the market. Construction company typically builds on contract. In order to catch up, you should include the bidding process and bonding company your business will use. Examples will be discussed later on. Number two, you should consider the type of contract that you may use, if it is remeasured or lump sum contract. Others to consider in your planning are your marketing plan, know your competitors, production schedule, and needed tools. I will show you some items to consider in planning construction business, like your staff and manpower salaries, equipment rentals, and aggregate unit rates. Making sure that each unit rate is the latest market value. Engineer Mark, please do the honor for the presentation too. Can you please show the slides for the presentation too, please? Okay. Okay, that is the, like for example, I will see now the presentation too. Okay. Try to, example for the salaries, an example is a civil engineer. Look at the market. What is the current salary of a civil engineer? Example is like, for example, a 2 years experience engineer. It has a basic salary of 21,200. For a 2 to 5 years experience engineer, it has a 28,400. For 5 to 10 years experience engineer, 41,900 pesos. For 10 to 15 years experience engineer, it's 51,100 pesos. For a 15 to 20 years experience engineer, 55,700, and a 20 plus years experience, it has a 60,300 pesos. Next slide, please, Mark. Okay, seeing the low salary for a civil engineer, it is 18,700. The average income for the average is 40,700, and the highest would be most probably is 64,700. Next page, Mark. For equipment rentals, these are the considerations in your planning. Like for example, a backhoe. A backhoe costs 16,599,000 for 1 day. A payloader, it costs 13,864,000 per day. A dump truck costs 10,816,000 pesos per day. And of course, the minor tools, the welding and everything is 10% of the labor. Next page, please, Mark. Also, the road grader, the per day unit rate is around 17,384. The vibrator compactor, it is 11,384 per day. The water truck, 8,520 per day. Next page, please, ma'am. Of course, the materials, look also for the materials. Like for example, the Portland cement, the 40 kilogram bag cement, 40 kilograms per bag, it costs 275,000 pesos per bag. For fine aggregate, it is 600 pesos. For coarse aggregate, it is 700. For steel forms and etc., it's 50. Asphalt sealant, 75. Reinforcement steel bar, it's 55 per kilo. Next page, please. Of course, the labor, don't forget the labors. For the foreman, costs 555 pesos per day. Amazon carpenter, it is a 401. For a laborer, costs 311 per day. Next page, please. Okay, stop for that one. Okay. These are just samples of the current needed materials need to be seen in the market. If you're planning a construction business, just take the basic materials, the manpowers needed, so that at least you have an idea how much is the capital that you will invest. Okay. Moving on. To register your business, it's the number 2, register your business to the government regulatory agency. To do this, you have to look into the rules, licenses, and registration required within your business location. Your town may have specific laws. Before you will get a license, you have to register your business. You may start sole proprietorship, as it is simpler to register. Though, with the sole proprietorship, the company is not a separate entity and the owner has no protection against personal liability. Once your business is registered, apply for the needful upgrades. Of course, the sole proprietorship, you can make it to corporation, take for specialty or whatever you like. But just the best thing there is just start with the sole because it's simpler to register. Okay, in some localities, maybe a simple recognized contract. Other may be more specific licenses, such as license to install waterproofing or swimming pools. You also need licenses and permits based on government contracts. Bidding for government projects and mostly private projects needs a pickup license. Okay, ito ang pinakahintay natin sa mga engineers at saka mga aspirant entrepreneurs or businessman there. Ito rin sa isa pinaka-importante, yung pickup license natin. What is pickup? Ito. Pickup means Philippine Contractors Accreditation Board. It is RA 4566 as amended by PD number 1746, provides that no contractor, including subcontractor and specialty contractor, shall engage in the business of contracting without first having secured a pickup license to conduct business. It is an offense to engage in contracting business without a license first being obtained. All architects and engineers preparing plans and specifications for work to be contracted in the Philippines shall stipulate in the invitation to bidders whether a resident of the Philippines or not, and in their specifications that it will be necessary for any bidder, whether contractor, subcontractor, or especially contractor, to have a license before his bid is considered. The purpose of the Contractor's License Law, RA 4566, is to ensure for the safety of the public that only qualified and reliable contractors are allowed to undertake construction in the country. The law also aims to promote for the benefit of the public and private sectors and for the national interest the orderly growth of the contracting sector and the upgrading of construction capability. Later on, I will show you the steps. Okay, now I will show you the 5 steps on how to apply for a pickup. Alam na natin ang ibig sabihin ng pickup. Okay, here are the 5 steps on how to apply for a pickup license. Number 1, download an application form. Ito yung application form po. Mahahanap po sa ciap.dti.gov.ph. May papakita ko rin po sa inyo later on sa slide. Number 2, accomplish the form properly and attach corresponding supporting documents. May pakita rin mamaya sa slides to. Number 3, submit application for checklisting pre-screening. Number 4, pay the required upfront fee. Number 5, wait for the license release. Approved license will be mailed directly to the owner firm via courier. Okay, I will show you in the presentation the checklist, the pickup folder anatomy, and needed personnel for the pickup application. Engineer Mark, can you kindly please do the honor for kindly show the presentation number 3, please? Okay. Okay. Here are the checklists in applying for a pickup license. Ito hindi ko na basahin isa-isa kasi makuha naman natin to maintindihan. Pasadahan lang natin. Of course, itong form na to mada-download later on, mada-download nyo sa website ng CIAT. Okay. Pasadahan natin. This is the checklist for a pickup submittal. Ito is a sole proprietorship because for the time being, ina-assume ko na mag-start muna tayo sa start. Kaya this is for checklist requirements for a sole proprietorship. It has 5 contents or 4 contents. The main 4 contents. The number 1 contents, which is the legal. It is the legal contains the affidavit of attestation, integrity pledge, contractor's general information. Now, this is the number 2. Nakikita nyo sa screen nyo? Guys? Andiyan pa ba kayo? Hello? Someone's there?
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear? Thanks for that. Okay. Let's moving on. Okay, this is the A2. The authority to verify documents with depository bank, BIR, and other government agencies. Okay, nakalagay na rin dito kung anong page. O, page 8, page 9, and page 10. Pakita ko rin, meron din mamaya to, yung mga sample niya. Okay, and let's go sa technical aspects sa letter B content. Yung sa B1, of course, the authorized managing officer, the original NBI clearance, the certificate of attendance of AMO seminar. Ito kasing sa AMO is hindi mo naman kasi kailangan na maging civil engineer, licensed civil engineer or licensed architect. Anyone, as long as you will comply with the requirement. Ang sabi niya dito, ito yung requirement niya Certificate of attendance of 2-day AMO seminar. Ito, maraming din mga agency na nagpapaseminar sa AMO na to. AMO should pass the examination. Meron ding examination, written examination to. You will pass this one. Tapos, yung details, more details nito is, marami naman tayong mga kasamahan na nag-seminar na dito sa AMO na andyan na sa Pilipinas ngayon. Ayan, sina Engineer Crisostomo, sina Engineer Radin. Marami. Pwede nating matap sila kung sakali kailangan pa natin ng further details. Tapos, this is the Certificate of Completion for 40-hour Construction Safety and Health Seminar. Ayan, na-provide din yan ng government. Meron din mga agency na na-provide yan. Tapos, ito yung B2, Sustaining Technical Employee. It is the STE. Of course, ikon mo yung affidavit of undertaking with copy of valid PRC ID license. Ito yung mga attachment niya, original NBI clearance, ST affidavit construction experience, tapos personal appearance, tapos certificate of completion for a 40-hour construction safety and health seminar. Ito sa aking company, ako ang nag-STE, Sustaining Technical Employee. Ang ginawa ko dito is, of course, nag-seminar ako sa Pilipinas. Afterwards, pumunta ako sa DTI, na-interview ako doon. Then, ayun, kinomply ko yung mga requirements ng mga needed doon. Like for example, sa form, usually, dapat not less than 5 years experience ka ata doon eh. Basta doon sa form yun, fill upan nyo lang yun. Pero most important thing here sa sustaining technical employee is dapat holder ka ng PRC license. Of course, a civil engineer. Ewan ko lang sa architect. Pero civil engineer usually, kasi ito yung pinaka-backbone sa PICAB. Kasi PICAB naman is kinukuha lang sa government yan or tawag nito. Yung tawag sa PICAB is hindi siya natural person. Yung PICAB sa sinasabi nila, it's not a natural person. Ang natural person sa PICAB is yung pinaka-backbone niya, yung STE. Okay? So, may kwan din mamaya yung form. Ipakita ko rin yung form later on. Let's go to C, yung financial. Complete audited financial statement with accompanying auditor's opinion. Yan, papa-audit nyo rin yung mga finance nyo. For existing companies, AFF, additional documents, cash in bank, list of contractors, real properties, list of contractors, plans, a schedule of receivables, and blah, blah, blah. Ito, andyan lang sa form yan. Okay? Yung others, of course, pag hindi kayo mismo nakapunta, yung authorized representative affidavit, tapos yung original signature, and others. Okay. Next page, please. Leader Mark. ito lang yung reminder, pero hindi to kasama sa kasama sa submittal nyo. Itong checklist pala, ito yung parang page number 1 natin. Tapos second page natin is ito. Hindi na to second page, hindi to kasama sa submittal. Nakalagay naman sa baba, sabi, do not include this page in your application folder for reference only, sabi niya. Ito lang yung important reminder na kailangan nating tandaan. To avoid undue delay in the processing of your application, please take time to read this important. Use the latest application form which are downloaded in the ito sinasabi ko kanina at ciap.dti.gov.ph. Ito dito nyo ma-download yung mga form na kailangan nyo fill upan at submit. Tapos all required information in the application form should be properly filled out, handwritten, typewritten, or encoded using a computer. Do not leave an item blank of this one. And you can read it all of this one. Sa mga gustong dito, kukuha sa presentation, i-distribute na rin namin pag sa mga attendees. Kung gusto nyo kumuha ng sample, bigay rin namin na mamaya. Kung gusto nyo, i-message nyo lang yung mga POD natin sa PICE Riyadh. Moving on. Okay. Ito yung pickup application folder anatomy. Okay. Yung sinabi ko kanina, it consists of 5 main ingredients. Okay? Ito, like for example, yung pinaka main page, yung page 1 is yung checklist of requirements. Diyan pa ba kayo? Sir Mark, next page please. Okay, yan. Nakikita nyo na? Hello? Are you still there?
Yes, Engineer Lagansi.
Go ahead, Sir Jomel.
Okay. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na pinaka 5 main ingredients ng folder or content ng pickup application natin. Okay. Bibigay ko rin ito mamaya after the seminar. Bibigay natin, i-distribute natin. Okay? Nung pinaka main page, ito yung checklist, yung sinabi ko kanina. Tapos yung legal forms, supporting documents. Tapos yung technical forms and supporting documents. Ito, financial forms and supporting documents. Other forms and supporting documents. Yan, yung folder natin, yung anatomy niya. It consists of 5 main ingredients, sabihin ko na para mas layman's term. Next page please, Engineer Mark. Okay. Ito yung composition din ng legal, yung table of contents niya. Affidavit of attestation, integrity pledge, contractors general information. It is also in the page number 5 and 6 and 7. Ito, certified true copy of business name, registration certificate, the scope of business, ito, and blah, blah, blah. Ito yan, nakasulat lahat yan. Sundan nyo na lang. Tapos, next page please, Engineer Mark. Okay. Okay, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Ito yung form ng affidavit of attestation. Okay? Tapos, next page, Engineer Mark. Sample yan ng affidavit of attestation. Tapos, ayan din. Sample din yan ng PCAP Integrity Pledge. Next page here, Engineer Mark, please. Ayan, yung sample yan ng form ng contractor's general information. Next page, please. Ito, yung sinasabi ko kanina na authority to verify documents with depository bank. Yan yung form din niya na kailangan nating i-submit. Next page, please. Okay. Ito yung authority natin, ibibigay natin sa BIR to verify documents. Next page, please. Sino, Mark? Okay, ito rin yung authority na ibigay natin sa government agencies para i-verify nila yung documents natin. Kailangan signan natin lahat yan. Signan ng amo nyo. Of course, with the date and whatsoever. Tapos, next page please. Engineer Mark. Okay. Punta naman tayo sa, tapos na tayo doon sa A, sa legal. Punta naman tayo sa technical. Sa technical, yung pan ko. Saglit lang, please. Okay. Ito yung content din ng technical natin sa anatomy ng folder natin. Ito yung B-1, B1. Ito yung authorized managing officer. It is ito yung yung sinabi ko kanina na kailangan mo na mag-seminar ng 2-day to qualify for the AMO. Tapos, of course, meron kang construction safety and health 40-hour na seminar din. Tapos yung, of course, yung NBI mo. And sa sustaining naman, na mention ko na a while ago, kailangan mo na may valid PRC ID license ka with 5 years experience. Tapos, kailangan mo din naman na hindi ka pwede na sa ibang kumpanya ka nagtatrabaho. Kailangan sa company na yan, doon ka nagtatrabaho to become a STE of that company. Okay? Next page, please. Engineer Mark. Okay, ito yung affidavit ng authorized managing officer. Ito, fill up nyo lahat yan. Fill up nyo na lahat yan. Ito sinasabi ko kanina na ito. That may sworn statement ka dito that I possess a knowledge of the building safety, health, and lien laws of the Republic of the Philippines and administrative principles of construction, contracting for any works on item above. Ito, basahin nyo lang ito, andito sa baba lahat, that I am not involved in any construction malperformance, negligence, incompetence, or blah. Ito, dyan na lahat yan. Yang kuwan ng amo, requirement ng sworn statement mo ng amo, which is na ginawa mo na for submittal. Ito i-kuan mo na lang yan, fill up mo yan. Tapos next page please, Mark. Ito naman sa sustaining STE, sustaining technical employee. Ito naman yung affidavit mo. The affidavit of understanding, undertaking, which is, i-fill up mo din yan. I-fill up mo na kasama for sa anatomy mo, folder sa submittals mo. Ito rin yung sworn statement niya that I am not presently employed by either a private company or any government office or government-owned controlled corporation, nor a full-time instructor, nor working abroad. Sabi niya dito, that I am not a holder of a valid contractor's license, that I am not involved in any construction malperformance suggestive of negligence, incompetence, or malpractice, or any act or omission liable for disciplinary action by myself or collaboration with other person. That I am fully aware that my failure to notify PICAB of my disassociation form from my present employer within 30 days from the officer and an applicant for a contractor's license with PICAB. Ito, okay, andyan na yan. Self-explanatory na yan. Makukuha nyo rin to. Bibigay ko rin to yung form. Ito yung undertaking nyo na kailangan nyo rin of course, i-comply tapos i-undertakes nyo. Okay. Next page, please. Ito yung STE qualification requirements. Ito, a technology professional, sinabi ko rin kanina, ikuan ko lang, a technology professional such as engineer or architect. Pwede pala, engineer and architect. Duly licensed by the Professional Regulation Commission, holder of a valid PRC ID within 3 years minimum actual construction experience. 3 years lang pala, pero sa form na finilapan ko dati, 5 years ata if I remember it right. But at least dito, kasi for the year 2022 itong form na dinownload ko. Then, a full-time employee of the nominating contractor, not associated professionally or by employment with any other party, particularly a party engaged in construction or construction-related activities, have none of the following disqualification: involved in any capacity in any construction malperformance, blah, blah, blah. Nasabi ko na yan kanina. Involved by himself or in a collaboration with any other person or firm in any act or omission payable for disciplinary action of which, okay, self-explanatory na yan. Conviction of any court, okay, self-explanatory. If a former sustaining technical employee or an authorized managing officer of any construction firm but disassociated therefrom from failure to notify the board of his disassociation in accordance with the paragraph mentioned before of affidavit of understanding, then this is ito. Tapos signan nyo na. Ito yung STE qualification requirements, which is makukuha nyo rin niya later on. Next page, please, Gina Mark. Okay. STE affidavit of construction experience. Okay, fill upin nyo rin yan. Self-explanatory na siya. Next page, please. STE personal appearance. Okay. Fill upin nyo rin yung form na yan. Okay, next page, please. Okay. Punta naman tayo sa financial. Anong sabi dito sa financial? Ito yung table of contents niya. Complete audited financial statement, AFS. Ito, i-kuan nyo to, magpapa-audit kayo usually sa BIR to. Punta kayo sa BIR. Opinion, ay mga auditors doon. Report and notes dated with the last 6 months, immediately proceeding to the application and sign on every page by independent CPA. Okay, andyan naman na lahat yan Self-explanatory na yan. Next page, please, Engineer Mark. Ayan, list of contractors' real properties. Ito, declare nyo lahat yan. Pero yung sinasabi ko kanina na just be very, very careful. Kasi pag sa start kasi ng project, pwede naman kayo magdirekta na mag-corporation kagad. Kuha kayo ng SEC eh. Kaso pag mas marami lang nga lang requirement. Pag sole proprietorship, mas madaling i-register. Kaso nga lang, wala kang protection sa mga assets mo. At saka lahat ng i-declare mo, if wag naman po sana, in case of any problem, pwedeng mahatak yung mga dineclare mo na gamit mo. Yan yan yung disadvantage ng sole proprietorship. Okay, next page please. List of contractor in construction plant, vehicles and equipment. Ayan, yan. Ay fill up mo rin ang mga yan. Sige, at yan ang kasama sa mahahatak kung may kalokohan kang gagawin sa sole proprietorship. Okay, next page please. Ito, schedule of receivables. Kuha nyo rin yan, self-explanatory na rin yan. Next page please. Next page, please. Ito yung sa authorized representatives affidavit. Ayan, self-explanatory na rin yan. Basahin nyo na lang. Ibibigay ko sa inyo yung mga sample, ay yung form. Okay. Next page, please. Itong guideline and category of contractors. Okay. These are the guidelines for classification and categorization of contractors. Classification. Ito, basahin ko lang ng konti tapos move on na tayo. Pero ito, paper na to, hindi to kasama sa folder nyo. Nakalagay din naman sa baba, sabi niya dito. Do not include this page in your application folder. This is for reference use only. Okay? Pero sige, pasadahan lang natin. Ito yung guidelines. Number 1, classification means the area of operation that a contractor can engage is based on the technical experience of his sustaining technical employee. Ito ang sinasabi ko kanina na pinaka-backbone talaga ng pickup is yung STE. Kasi ito nga, mean the contractor engage based on the technical experience, sabi nga. Tapos number 2, the category indicates the graded level of aggregate capability of a contractor with respect to his principal classification and is based on predetermined qualification criteria which include financial capacity, experience of credit points in scales and determined by the board. Tapos ito yung kanya 2.1, financial capacity shall be in the term of net worth based on the latest blah blah blah. Yan, if finilapan nyo na rin kanina yung form na yan, then equipment capacity, na-declare nyo ng mga to. Experience of firm, yun, napakita ko na kanina yung form. The aggregate number of years, andun na rin sa form. Experience of technical personnel, andun na rin yan sa lahat sa form. Showed a while ago. Okay. And next page, please. Okay, ito yung guidelines for the license of category of a contractors. Basahin ko pa ba? Ilang may oras pa ba tayo? Okay, sige. Okay na yan. Self-explanatory na yan. Tapos, next page please. Okay. Ito naman na yung kuwan natin, yung mga amount na isa rin natin dapat tandaan. Ito, like for example, pickup categories classification table. Ito, for a general engineering. Ito yung mga kategory niya. Mayroong quadro A, triple A, double A, single A, B, C, and D. Ito yung minimum network equity. Ilan ba ito? 1, 2, 3. 1, okay. 1 billion ba ito? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Andiyan pa ba kayo? Say hi. Hello?
Loud and clear, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. Kala ko baka tulog na kayo eh.
Oh,
Okay. Okay, moving on. Ito, sinoshow ko lang to. Ito, andito naman na yung mga figures. Basahin nyo na lang. Bibigay ko rin mamaya yan. Yung mga figures niya, andyan na lahat. Self-explanatory. So, no worries for this one. Hindi ko na kailangang i-explain isa-isa. Okay. Next page, please. Okay. Ito na yung may mga tanong sabi doon sa kuan. May mga nagtatanong kung magkano ba yung dapat na bayaran sa pag-apply ng PICAB. Ito na. Ito yung kailangan natin i-prepare sa pag-apply sa application fee. Ito nakalagay na rin dito. Fee structure. Ito filing fee, ito 1,200. Oh, lahat 1,200 from quadro A to D. Pare-pareho. Ito yung classification fee, blah blah blah. So, like for example, for quadro A, yung total mo na bayaran mo is 108,542. Yung triple A, 51,742. Double A, 26,542. A, 9,000. B, 6,000. C, 3,000 plus. D, and 2,614. Yan yung mga babayaran natin sa pag-apply ng PICAB. Of course, ito, sabi, naka-red note din dito sa baba. Sabi niya, do not include this page in your application folder. For reference only. Okay. Self-explanatory na yan. Okay. So, yan ang pag-apply ng PICAB. Yan yung 5 steps. Yan na rin example. Ito na yung pinaka-kuan. Paano ba natin, how to pay? How to submit and pay for the application. Okay. Andyan ba sa slides mo, yung slides 4? Kindly show the slides 4, Sir Engineer Mark. Engineer Mark, please. Slides 4. Engineer Mark? Oh. Okay, sige. Ito, basahin ko na lang. Hindi yata, kuwan. Saan si Engineer Mark?
Wala, sir.
Engineer Mark, can you please show the presentation for and on the how to submit and pay sa pag ng pickup? Meron?
Ba, sir?
Okay. Ayan, yan. Ito na yung nakikita nyo sa screen nyo. ito kung paano natin i-file at i-submit ang ating accomplished PICAP submittal or PICAP application. It is through Land Bank. Ito, number 1. Ayan na, nakakuha naman na siya. Step by step. Number 1, number 2, file. Number 2, pay. Number 3, submit. Ayan, dyan na rin yung guideline. I-share din namin to mamaya. Pag kailangan nyo, request nyo. Okay. So, alam na natin kung paano mag-apply for PICAP. Alam na natin yung mga forms. Alam na natin yung kung paano fill upan. Alam na natin how to submit. Magkano babayaran natin at kung paano natin isa-submit. Moving on. Ito, nasa step 2 pa lang tayo. Sa step 3 na tayo. Step 3 of 7. Yung sinabi ko na how to start a construction business. Step 3 na tayo. Insure your business. Ensuring your business is as important as registering your business. Because construction is inherently dangerous business. You're working with a heavy machineries, electricity, also other equipment that can do barely damage. So you need to be protected in case of worse happen. Your insurance need will depends on the specific nature of your business. So you need an insurance agent to discuss what kind of insurance you need. Ito regarding sa insurance na to, meron naman tayong sa next discussion natin, sa next presenter, kung naman siya sa mga insurance, so he will be discussing it maybe or ask him for more details regarding this one. Ito, general ko na lang. Okay, as a minimum, you need a general liability insurance. General liability insurance protect you against worksite injuries, accidents, and other mishaps that could otherwise leave you with hefty bills and legal issues. You may also want to look into vehicle and property insurance to make sure that your equipment is covered. Workers must also be covered with health insurance. Ito, kailangan din natin to. Mga tao natin. Sa Pilipinas, kailangan bigyan din natin sila ng health insurance para tawag dito, win-win situation. Di naman natin hinihingi in case of any emergency. Of course, tayo bandang huli. Ang employer pa din ang sasagot kung may mangyari. God forbids. Lalo na pag during work. Okay? Number 4, steps on making a business, starting a business. Number 4, secure construction bonds. Secure construction bonds, also called surety bonds, protect your clients by paying them in the event that you do not complete your work as agreed upon. So, binabayaran natin to. Meron sa Pilipinas, marami ding mga agency to sa surety bond. Surety bond is legally required to a construction company. Keep in mind that to get a surety bond, you need to be able to prove to the provider that your experience, capable, and financially secure. Surety bonds can cost anywhere between 0.5% to 2% of the total cost of the project. You get approved by third-party surety bond provider. Kaya sinasabi ko, pag like for example sa mga government project, required din tong surety bond, maraming mga agency na nag-provide dito. Madali lang hanapin to sa ating mga localities. Hindi na ako magme-mention ng mga agency para wala tayong bias. Number 5, buy equipment, and hire workers. Your required equipment may be varies depends on the type of project you plan to bid. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa pagplan nyo kanina sa number 1 on starting a business. Kasama na to sa planning. Alam nyo kung magkano yung mga cost ng vehicle, magkano yung mga manpower natin, mga tools, whatsoever. May discuss na kanina. You can also take into consideration equipment financing. Ayan, marami ding mga nag-finance. Sa akin, hindi naman ako mayaman. Ginagawa ko, like for example, may cooperative sa amin, member din naman ako sa co-op, is actually di ako na kinukuha ko sa provider, equipment provider as cash para makaiwas ako sa differences ng mas malaking porsyento. Like for example, usually naman kasi na ginagawa ng mga sa bangko hindi nila nakukuha ng equipment pero yung mga equipment suppliers is affiliated sila sa mga bangko pero malaki yung binibigay nila, usually 12% annually. Binibigay nila sa kinuha mo na equipment which is 1% monthly. Mabigat 'yon. Samantala, pag meron ka namang financing agency or cooperative na pwedeng pagkuhanan, hiram ka na lang sa isang cooperative kasi usually sa mga co-op, binibigay nila dyan is from 6 to 8% annually. Yan yung usual na binibigay ng co-op. At least makasave ka ng around 4% annually. Okay, moving on. To purchase machinery and use the cost of that machinery as collateral. Ayun, para yan maging collateral mo na rin yung equipment mo. This means the lender will take your machinery if you can't make payment. If you plan on taking larger projects, you will also plan to hire team of skilled workers. Ayun, may naipakita ko na rin kanina yung mga yung mga unit rate per day nila ng mga workers at saka of course mga engineers, some engineers. Some construction companies wait to get the job, then hire contractors to work on it. This offers you more flexibility because you don't have to keep paying staff during idle period. You can also hire workers with specific specialization depending on the type of job. On the other hand, if you have a long-term steady work, hiring your full-time employee will save you money in the long run. Yan, it is very true. Kasi kung minsan sa construction kasi, sample ko lang sa akin, kung minsan may mga time, lalo na pag tag-ulan, hindi diretso ang trabaho. Kaya ang ginagawa ko na lang, pinapa-subcontract ko sa mga gustong mag-subcontract. Of course, kailangan mo pa din na bantayan sila kasi pag kontratahan sa atin sa Pilipinas, mabilisan. Ayaw naman natin i-jeopardize yung quality ng trabaho. So, kailangan monitor mo sila para hindi naman ma-compromise yung quality of work. Ang kaganda lang dito sa pag-subcontract mo, of course, as sinabi ko nga, during idle period, na walang masyadong trabaho or walang trabaho, at least hindi mo sila binabayaran per day. Yan ang advantage nun. Sa hiring full-time employee, like for example sa akin din naman, meron din naman ako na sa ngayon, meron akong 69 regular employee is naka full-time sila sa akin regardless kung may trabaho or wala. Pero yun nga, kung walang trabaho, syempre malulugi ka, nagbabayad ka ng walang output. Pero may trabaho naman, of course, panalo ka pa din kasi in the long run, mas malaki yung masisave mo. Okay? Moving on, let's go to the number 6 of starting a business. Market your business. If possible, make professional website and strong social media presence. This will allow potential customers to see pictures of your work and introduce to other customers. Network in your local community. Try joining community organization to make connection with people to be able helps you to grow your business. The more connected you are in a community, the easier will be the spread of the word about your business. Bah, parang sinasabi nito na kailangan natin mga chismoso, chismosa. But anyhow, choose the right person na pag sabihan mo ng iyong business. Okay? Others, make relationship with suppliers, subcontractors, building inspectors, and developers. These people be instrumentally helping you complete your project and maybe able to refer you in business. Of course, ang mga supplier natin, subcontractor natin, kung ang bottom line lang naman dyan is we are a good payer, we are nagagawa natin yung trabaho natin on time, with quality, proper procedure, sigurado may refer tayo sa mga iba. Of course, the last but not the least in marketing your business, of course, you're the #1 fan of your business. Have confidence on it. If possible, advertise it 24/7. Well, siyempre, naka-invest ka na dyan. Andyan na lahat ng effort mo. And gumasto ka na rin. Ikaw, i-advertise mo. Gawin mo lahat ng paraan na may advertise. Okay? Kasi madali lang naman mag-advertise ngayon. Halos libre pa. Wala pa, hindi pa naniningil sa Facebook. Yung social media natin, pwede natin gamitin yon. Na i-advertise, of course, yung business natin. Okay? Number 7, ito, the last but not the least in starting a business. Pag na-comply na natin lahat yung mga requirements, na-register na natin, okay na, start bidding on projects. Ito. You need to able to provide accurate start. In bidding a project, you need to be able to provide accurate start and deadlines to potential customers. Don't make promises you can keep. Ayan, huwag tayo ng promise. Yung alam lang natin na kaya. Factor in all costs associated with taking on the job, including buying materials and hiring workers. This will also help you to determine your return of investment, our ROI. If you're very new with construction firm, you may want to hire construction engineers that are specialists in bidding projects, who can quote prices for jobs, bid on projects, submit invoices, and collect payment. Yan. Yan sa mga gustong maging entrepreneur na pasukin ang construction industry na hindi sila civil engineer or architect, pwede naman kayo. Pero to help you, dyan, marami namang engineer yan, maka-help din kayo sa employment ng ating bansa, you can employ. Employ natin yung mga engineers na gustong magtrabaho para they will help you. Of course, lahat mapapadali yung pagbid mo. Ito, yung medyo mahirap din gawin to. Kailangan technical lang gagawa nito. Yung sa pag-submittal of bidding documents. Kailangan matinik na civil engineer ang gagawin nito para mabid natin ang project. So if you're not a civil engineer, okay, you can hire civil engineer. So maybe kung meron pa tayong time, yung submittal of bidding documents, pakaibang session na rin siguro yon. Discuss natin isa-isa on how to bid ano yung mga preparation natin sa pagbibid, ano yung mga compliance na kailangan gawin. Okay, natapos na natin ang 7 steps on how to start a business. I-wrap up ko lang. Ito, we have 7 steps. Create a business plan. Number 2, register your business to the government regulatory agency. Number 3, insure your business. Number 4, secure your construction bonds. Number 5, equipment and hire workers. Market your business. And number 7, start bidding on projects. Okay, yan ang 7 steps na nagawa ko namin as on my experience na kumuha ng starting our own business, of course with the help of my family. Hindi lang naman ako one-man army. Gusto ko rin naman i-acknowledge sila. Without them, hindi ko rin nagawa ang mga to. So, bottom line, of course, your family will help you din sa pag-start ng business. Sabi nga nila, 2 hands is better than 1. Okay? May time, 10:21. That's all for now. I hope you learned something and see you in the contracting world in the Philippines. Let's help each other to be globally competitive and innovative entrepreneur engineer. Let's not forget what happened to Nokia. Oo nga, yung sa Nokia pala. Na during the 90s, ang dati 90s or early 20s, pinakamatatag dati ng mga cellphone is Nokia. Pagpasok ng mga around 2010 na 2005 or 2010 na ata, biglang nawala ang Nokia. Andiyan sila pero hindi na masyadong binibili. Ang nakita ko na isang parang observation ko lang naman is nagkulang sila sa innovation. Innovation ang parang nakita ko na isa na kulang nila. Ayan, naglabas na yung Samsung, Apple, Sony ng mga smartphone na puro touchscreen. Ang clear pa ng camera. Yung Nokia, andun pa sa keypad pa lang. It means to say, nagkulang sila sa innovation, nahuli na sila, hindi nila nakuha yung ng mga tao. Pero usually sila ang nauna na napansin ko. Nokia at saka Alcatel. Sila talaga ang nasa peak ng market noong 90s. Pero yun nga, kulang sila sa, pansin ko lang, in my own individual observation, nagkulang sila sa innovation. Okay, bottom line, let's keep moving forward and always innovate. And you may want to have some brainstorming and business proposal for engineering services and contracting services. Anytime, please feel free to email me or contact me. Okay? Before I finally end this session, please bear with me with my disclaimer. Sir Mark, kindly please show my presenter number 5, please. Sir Mark, kindly show my disclaimer. Engineer Mark? Engineer Mark?
Yes, sir.
Kindly show the...
Ito na, sir.
Okay. Ito lang naman ang disclaimer ko. Saan yung isa? Yung isa.
Tapos, sir?
Hindi, yung disclaimer. Ayan. Ito lang naman ang disclaimer ko. Kasi baka, of course, hindi naman ako representative ng government or whatsoever. Diniscuss lang naman natin. Hindi ako agent or whatsoever. I just share my experience ng pag-start ng a sole proprietor business. So, this is my disclaimer. This document is disseminated under the sponsorship of PICE Riyadh Region Chapter, the chapter assumes no liability of its content and use thereof. The content of this report reflects the views of the author, who is solely responsible for the facts and accuracy of material presented. The content do not necessarily reflect the official views of the Construction Industry Authority of the Philippines or any government agency mentioned in the presentation. Okay, that's all for now. Thank you very much for the time, and I hope you learned something. Back to you, Mr. Moderator. Hello?
Okay, thank you very much, Engineer Johnny Laganti, for that very enlightening topic. And I hope everybody gain knowledge in terms of preparing construction business. And pag dito sa Saudi, may boss tayo. Dun sa Pilipinas, may amo, which is the authorized managing officer. Ayan, ayan natutunan ko. May amo. Pero pagtapos yun, pagkasay ng amo, ikaw na ang magiging amo ng iyong business. Ayan. Parang pick-up line lang, sir. No? Okay. So, diretso na tayo. Maybe, Sir Edgar, we don't have this video. You can stop. So, moving on now. Now to facilitate our Q&A portion. I will now give the control of the virtual stage to our Vice President for Membership, Engineer Maurice Galuso, our Q&A facilitator. Engineer Maurice.
Thank you so much, OFW Reintegration Committee Chairman, Engineer Harry Mark Tolentino, for humble introduction. Parang wala akong video. Sir
Edgar, can we have...
Yes. Naririnig naman ako, di ba? Okay. Fellow engineers, contractors to be, and friends, good day. Bilang mga engineers, siguro we dream na magkaroon tayo ng sariling construction company, di ba? And we believe na ito na yung starting. We hope that we learned some technical knowledge about science and preparation for construction business in the Philippines. And we are so much grateful and thankful to Engineer Joel Lagansi for sharing his knowledge and experiences. Without so much further ado, we will now proceed to the one of the most interesting part of the webinar, the question and answer portion. If you have questions and clarifications, kindly type in the Q&A Zoom chat pane. Alam namin na marami kayong katanungan. Actually, we have already 6 questions here. And ito, the first questions came from Engineer Owen from Kuwait. Sir Johnny, are you ready?
Sige, tingnan natin kung kaya.
Okay. His question is, if you have an existing pickup in the last 18 years, can it still be activated? If it can, what is the procedure? Thank you.
I see, okay. Sa procedure naman ng license renewal, kasi yung case niya, renewal, sabi niya, di ba? Meron namang provision doon sa CIAB, which is, sige, isama ko na siya na isama sa folder yung try ko kung mahanap ko yung renewal. Pwede mo siyang ma-renew. Pwede mo siyang ma-renew uli in accordance sa procedures or guidelines ng CIAB, yung Construction Industry Authority CIP o CIAP of the Philippines, pwede mo siyang may-renew. Yung guideline niya, meron namang guideline